And just we're gonna test your gains real quick. So just say hi, I'm Buck, blah blah blah. Let's see how that sounds.
Hi, I'm Buck, and I think Brian is so hot and sexy.
Oh,
Okay.
that's definitely going in the pre-roll.
Okay. Pause. All right.
Hello, my friends.
Thank you for joining us for the PEBCAK Podcast, a weekly information security show featuring some all-around good people. It is week 20 of 2026. I'm Chris Louie, and happy birthday to my lovely wife. With me, we have my co-host, the Cloud God, who is celebrating a great family milestone today.
Yes, my son has graduated college, so
Yay, applause.
great, out to the great abyss and whatnot. And the ceremony last night for just the ASU engineering, which is not just software engineering, cybersecurity, mechanical engineering, was 3.5 hours long, and they only had a 15-minute opening thing. It was brutal, bro, and it was hot. So yeah. Anyways, Mikey,
a lot of students.
Yeah, there was, but you just sit they had it where it's they're walking up from both sides of the stage and they're saying names. And it's oh, this is gonna be done in an hour. No, they had a freaking intermission. It was
like a Broadway show.
Yeah,
it's a whole production.
I wanted to, yeah. So, anyways,
congratulations, Mikey. We're all proud of you.
Yeah. Or now he's a man, Michael. Good job, Michael.
Good job, Michael. He'll always be Mikey to you, Michael to all of us.
Yes, sir.
And we do not have Glenn Medina today because he is still stuck in line at TSA.
Typical Glenn.
Our guest this week is Buck Rogers, who currently serves as a Chief Security Advisor for Cyb3r Operations, a Professor of Cybersecurity and Digital Innovation at the University of Gloucestershire, and a short-term expert in the cyber for the IMF. I believe that stands for the Impossible Mission Force. So welcome on, Buck, and say hi to Tom Cruise for us.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if it did stand for IMF, my job would be a lot trendier than International Monetary Fund, wouldn't
it? Yeah, indeed. So you're basically, you're basically Ving Rhames then, because you're the tech guy on the IMF.
I don't know, but with the bald head and glasses, sometimes he could be the villain, right?
That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. Can you say that? Is that not bald shaming?
You can if you're bald.
He is, yeah. So he can say it. I'm not allowed to say it, but Brian can say it.
Is shaming back again? I have no idea.
I think it is, man. I think we're all one conversation away from getting cancelled, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm bald maxing right now, as the kids would say.
All right, enough of that. Combined, we have decades of information security experience. And here not just to educate, but to entertain. We've got 4 awesome stories for this week. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to talk about your encryption. All your encryption are belong to us. Another school platform gets ransomed. For our third topic, a Steam oopsie. And close with World Cup talk. For our first topic, just when you thought BitLocker was your reliable full disk encryption utility, along comes YellowKey, not to be confused with Yellow Snow. A disgruntled security researcher, chaotic eclipse of Zero-Day fame in the last, he's dropped like 6 0-days in the last month or two. The same one who's been dropping all those Microsoft 0-days, allegedly he was upset because MSRC ghosted his report, so he's just been releasing these things nonstop. He released a proof of concept that lets anyone with physical access to a device to open a BitLocker protected drive using nothing more than some carefully crafted files on a USB drive. Plug in this specialized USB drive, boot into Windows recovery environment while holding the control button, and boom, you get an elevated command prompt with the drive fully unlocked. No password, no recovery key needed for TPM only setups. Funny enough, or maybe strangely enough, the files even self-delete after you're done. So this just screams backdoor to a whole lot of people. Now this works on current versions of Windows 11 and newer versions of Windows Server, where BitLocker is now on by default. Traditionally, TPM plus a PIN is supposed to be better, and the current proof of concept doesn't fully bypass it, but the researcher says they have a variant for that too. They just aren't dropping it yet. Kevin Beaumont, who goes by Gossie the Dog, and others confirmed that it does actually work. So physical access plus this YellowKey, your encrypted laptop is now wide open and is a huge game changer for physical device security.
Man, this backdoor stuff is right up your alley. I know you love the backdoor, Chris. So this is great.
YellowKey, just like that yellow snow.
Yeah. You know what's wild about this is I don't have a Windows device. So I don't care. Yeah, good luck, losers, and your Windows device. Have fun.
Yeah, we need a file vault backdoor for your Mac now.
Yeah. But dude, Chaotic Eclipse. Number one, great handle. I'm gonna give you that, and then 2, 6 0-days in a month. Is that about right? That's incredible, man. That dude's a genius.
I don't know if it's 6. I might be exaggerating a little bit. It's at least 4. It could
well,
be
it's 4 more than I've had in my entire life.
I suppose also for this thing, like it's a bit old school as well, isn't it? That we can have all this, AI cyberpunk headline stuff, but it's a physical access problem, isn't it? Which means if someone steals your laptop and has enough time and capability, life gets very interesting quickly. We spend years saying, don't write your password on a Post-it note. Now it's going to be, don't leave your laptop unattended ever.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the compensating controls that like our IT department, our CISO has. Like if your laptop ever gets stolen, don't worry, the drive's encrypted. They could rip out the hard drive, they're never going to be able to read it. But now this completely changes that. So that, I don't know, if they don't release a patch, that's going to be the new security policy. Never leave your laptop unattended. Don't leave it in your car. Carry it on your person if this is what's going to happen to it.
Yeah, can you imagine the HR policies?
Yeah, I think they're just going to have to patch this one, though.
Yeah, it's just really curious. Like, why is this in the... Because I don't know if we figured out if it's a bug or if it's intentional or what. They haven't done the full write-up or analysis on it. We don't know what the bug is necessarily either. What causes it.
You would have thought the tinfoil hat brigade would say this is a big conspiracy or it's a hidden thing, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'm on that train for sure. Yeah, definitely something reeks, right?
Yeah, there was some speculation on that. I can't remember exactly what people thought it was, but it had something to do with like some kind of race condition that, the recovery environment is supposed to do this, and with those files, like recovery environment is programmed to scan for these specific types of files, and these types of files happen to carry the key material to decrypt it. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it'll be interesting to see, was this intentionally programmed there, or was this a giant bug? Was it oversight? Like how did it not get caught? Like BitLocker's been around since Windows 7, and nobody figured it out until now.
Right now, everyone in the 3-letter agencies from the U.S. is like, God damn it! We've been using this for a while, boys.
Yeah. Oh no, you mean they got exposed?
Oh yeah, they got exposed. Exactly.
But I suppose the thing is, well, like we spend as cybersecurity professionals, humanity, and we spend time building more sophisticated locks, while the other half of humanity is trying to look for the bathroom window.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. You don't attack the problem head on. You look for these clever side channel attacks. And I don't even know how this guy figured it out that you could load these specialized files on a USB and then boot and hit the control button. It's like he either found something in the code or he's just really, really, really bored. Or really hates Microsoft, maybe.
I have a very disparaging comment that I won't use because I don't want this dude coming after me. I don't need the attention.
What do they do? Yeah, what do they do in their social life, or do they not have one?
Yeah. Again, a lot of speculation here that will only put a target on my back. So I will.
I guess you could say you have to really love what you do, and you have to be dedicated to your craft to be able to find like this many 0-days in such a short amount of time.
But going back to Buck's point, like I've always said, screaming from my ivory soapbox, like if you have physical access, all bets are off, and then. Full disk encryption came out and everyone started sleeping better at night. But obviously, that doesn't really mean anything. So,
but Brian, do you think, from your experience, that people that we lead people to misunderstand about encryption, that this is magical thing that nothing can happen to it, and that we're based on a layer of trust, perhaps that's not there anymore, and that we perhaps need to do better explaining it?
Yeah, there was speculation when I first started here. Back maybe I was here 9 years, but maybe 2 years in, that maybe China had figured out how to way to intercept TLS 1.2 and crack, even if it had PFS, right? And then you hear the, oh my gosh, what's that reporter He was on Fox. He ended up leaving, and then he interviewed Putin.
Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, like he has been on record of saying, like, hey, you know, he was intercepted by the U.S. government saying, we've been reading your signal chats. So it's like, okay, well, number one, you shouldn't, number one, be spying on U.S. citizens. So I guess they can argue the fact that, like, no, we're spying on Russia. But then, okay, great. How the hell are you doing this? I don't understand.
Loophole. Yeah.
Yeah. We're just listening on one side of it. And so then it just makes you wonder, like, for an app that we all use that's supposedly end-to-end encrypted, does it just mean you could, you know, capture as much as you can and replay it if you have quantum computing? I have no idea. Or there's a flaw there. And I guess, you know, it's going to be interesting as we start looking at Mythos and all that good stuff and running stuff against source code. I think we're going to find a lot of zero-day vulnerabilities that have been hanging around for like Heartbleed and Shell Shock for like 20 plus years. And again, all maybe nation state and even the U.S. is like, damn, like we're so mad about this. Yeah.
Got to improve their tradecraft.
Yeah.
And we'll be interested to see what happens to the zero-day vulnerability marketplace. Does it drive down all the costs and the fees?
Yeah, that's part of the whole economics of things. Is if you have something that's scarce, but a lot of people want it, well, the price goes up. But if you reduce that scarcity and everybody still wants it, but you have a bigger supply of it, in theory, the price should go down. So that and the bug bounty programs, we'll see if they start lowering that too, because the barrier to entry is so small. I think that was the whole incentive system. It's so hard to find a 0-day in iOS, especially in lockdown mode. That's why Apple will pay you like $5 million if you find one. But if you just point your AI cannons at this target and then just say fire away, then you're really lowering that barrier there.
Because we used to, back in the day when I started, we used to do protocol fuzzing, but just on a bigger scale. But then I suppose when we released it, we did it for the common good, i.e. we worked collaboratively rather than getting money for it. So perhaps we go back to a more community approach. I don't know.
Yeah.
Going back to your little comment on Apple, right, in the $5 million bounty, I think according to my son and Reddit, like anyone that was worth their salt just ended up getting hired by Apple, with the exception of, I think, of like a few people, maybe even only one, right, that actually does it. So I think Apple was like, well, you know, we could just put out this huge bounty or just hire people, give them, you know, put them on retainer and just say, your job is just a red team all day long, boys. Mm-hmm. And if you find something, too bad, you get stock. I don't know.
Exactly. You don't get the $5 million. You get a pat on the back and a gold plaque.
Yeah. You get the job security button, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still curious about how back to your comment about Signal, how they're able to intercept those messages. If that was indeed true, is it a break in the Signal protocol, the app? What ends up happening a lot, though, what we've seen where people say, oh, this is broken or this is broken, or we hacked into this, is actually they just put spyware on the device. They put like Pegasus or something on the device, and they're just key logging you basically, because it's like it's decrypted on the device, but it's encrypted in transit. It's much easier to steal the data when it's unencrypted on the device.
True.
That's gone quiet as well, isn't it? The whole Pegasus NSO stuff has gone really quiet recently.
Yeah, I think they're trying to keep a low profile. I think they got some bad. I think they actually got acquired by a different group now. I don't think they're independent anymore.
They're like, yeah, it's broken. It doesn't work anymore. But we still charge $10 million. Why? Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
Yeah, I think it's like Paragon and Intellexa. Like this, some other people stepped up where NSO left a vacuum. But I think they're still around. They're just not. You don't hear about them as much because they got some quite bad PR, and they're put on the State Department, what they call the entities list, so we're not allowed to buy that here in the U.S. for now.
For now, yeah.
For now,
where are you
until that changes?
Buck, where are you at? Are you allowed to buy this software? Is your government? I'm assuming I think you're overseas, right?
No. Yeah. I'm in London, so in London, in the UK, most probably not. No, you wouldn't be allowed to, because that'd be, I suppose, breaching various privacy laws unless you're a state entity.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were so far. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us, Buck.
I know, yeah. I know. Just to live a stereotype, after this, I'm having a cup of tea and some fish and chips.
Hey, all right.
That's what we say. What do security researchers do for their social life? hang out on Security Podcast.
Are you making the fish and chips? Are you gonna be sponsored by Long John's? Where are you going?
Yeah. No, it's going to be Deliveroo, mate, or Uber Eats.
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm ever in London, I'm gonna hit you up and we'll try to figure out where to grab some good fish and chips.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Good Indian food. Are you a fan of Indian food, Buck?
Yes. Yeah. Like a hot Indian food. Yeah.
Pause that real quick. I'm just curious if people in London do it any different. So in the States, it's I think was it tartar sauce and lemons you squeeze on fish and chips. Yeah. What do you guys do? Same thing?
Same, mate. Yeah, salt and vinegar. Okay. Bit of tartar sauce, bit of lemon. My wife likes a bit of mayonnaise. I'd most probably go more with salad cream, which I don't think you have in the States.
If you're dipping mayonnaise, you might be a terrorist. I don't know what to tell you, but
yeah.
Just kidding. You're kidding.
So they toss in Pulp Fiction, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah. And you just as an aside, you had our King visit recently, didn't you? King Charles came over.
He did. Yep. Yeah.
Did he bring his tiny baby, grandbaby, with him? The other one in charge? No. All
right.
No. I don't think so. All right, for our second topic, 2 fresh stories dropped that are basically screaming the same lesson from opposite sides of the ransomware coin. First up, my great state of California went all in on this ed platform Canvas, which is a big education tech platform everyone uses for classes, assignments, grades, basically a Google Classroom for higher ed. They do use it for K through 12 too, but Google Classroom seems more prevalent here in the lower ed. Every California State University, including my alma mater, Cal Poly, uses this system. 116 community colleges, UC system, Stanford, LA Unified School District, like 300,000 kids or something like that. And the ShinyHunters ransomware gang hits this platform. The data gets exfiltrated, and worst of all, the platform goes down right in the middle of end of school year final exams. Hundreds of thousands of students are totally locked out. Canvas's parent company, Instructure, eventually cut some kind of deal with the hackers. They won't confirm that they paid a ransom. All they will say is a, quote, agreement was reached and there's no more extortion. Everybody knows, like, we're not dumb. They paid a ransom.
Yeah. My son actually had sent me a screenshot of that because ASU got hit by it as well. So he's trying to sit there and figure out, am I graduating or not? And I don't know. Like, Canva just got his cheeks clapped. And so we're trying to figure it out. Canvas. No, I thought. Oh yeah,
with Canva.
Yeah, don't want to cast those aspersions. But actually, let me show you. I'll even share the screenshot that he had seen when he was logging into his system.
And that was the timeline. So while you're bringing that up, so the timeline was, I think, April 30th. They got hit, and then they were like trying to negotiate, and then in Instructure said no, like, or ignore them, and then they eventually found some kind of cross-site scripting vulnerability to get into the admin console. And then they so Brian has this message up, says, ShinyHunters has breached Instructure again. Instead of contacting us to resolve it, they ignored us and did some, quote, security patches. So they so
passive aggressive.
I know, right? So they defaced all their websites. They weren't getting paid. They wanted attention, and boy, did they get some attention.
I was going to say, because I know we have that phrase, don't we? Never pay a ransom, and it sounds really morally clean and simple. But in real world, instances like this, it's messy, aren't they? And you're not making this decision inside this Hollywood bubble, with people going around in the dark room in hoodies and stuff. You're under extreme pressure at times. I support trying to minimise some form of harm, and so people do, don't they?
Yeah. I was gonna bring up the fact that we have a real world example of this. Was it 3 years ago, in the great city of Las Vegas, MGM Resorts? They were hit by ShinyHunters. I think they were called Cyb3r back then, and they got hit. They said, we refuse. They took the moral high ground. I support their decision, and they ended up paying over $100 million plus recovery costs to just recover from this ransomware attack. But just down the road from them, Caesars Entertainment, again, this is all well documented, public information. Caesars Entertainment, same attackers, same time frame. They paid $15 million in ransom. Minimal disruption, no public meltdown, and business kept on rolling. They don't seem to have gotten punished for it either, from what I could tell. But morally, I think MGM did the right thing. Caesars kind of copped out, but that was a business decision. That's not a moral decision.
That's spot on. That is.
made the decision like on that. It's like, oh, click here to check out all the schools that were leaked. And, freaking Zscaler just comes over here and C blocks me. Can't even look at the schools that got owned.
I think they took it down anyway after they paid the ransom. Like all the leak site stuff disappeared. All the public information disappeared. I think they negotiated that. And I'm curious. I want some blockchain analysis done. I want to know how much they paid. We'll do an over under here, and then we'll see what
5 million. 5 million.
Right. 5.
What do you think? Yeah.
What do you think, Buck? How much do you think they paid?
So I think, going back to the casino stuff, one just made an ugly business transaction, didn't they? It may be uncomfortable, but to them that was the reality of, we'll pay, move on.
And it's no skin off their back. They use their cyber insurance policy to pay for it. It's not even out of pocket for them.
Yeah. I think the law in the UK is changing for critical infrastructure that you can't pay. That it'll be against the law to pay. Be interesting to see how they enforce it though.
Yeah, indeed. I say 10. I say 10 million. Vern. So you're 5, I'm 10. What do you think, Buck? How much do you think Instructure paid?
8. There you go, down the middle.
8. All right, it's down the middle. $1, Bob. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think Buck is on the right track here. That it's not one size fits all. Like there shouldn't be like anytime I do like new hire training and I mentor people, I say I never say never, I never say always, and except with this one exception, I never say never, I never say always, because there's always going to be corner cases. There's always going to be some exception to it. You want to be flexible with that. And when you think of critical infrastructure, like, I can see that, because you don't want to make that an attractive platform for attackers to hack and say, if I hit a power plant or I hit a water treatment facility, I'm going to get paid. But for like the story that gets brought up related to this is Garmin, the company that makes GPS devices and smartwatches. Like they got ransomed. If they did not pay, there'd be no Garmin today. Just period. That's the truth. So there, in some cases, it might be okay. But in many cases, law enforcement says do not pay.
I was hanging out with an interesting dude. He did communication stuff for some branch of the military. And I was telling him, what's the craziest thing that he had seen? He goes, it was the week that I was retiring. I think he said Garmin watches were showing people running all around Syria, and everyone's like, wait a second, what's going on right here? He's like, talk about just,
doing some OSINT there. And
yeah, exactly. Like, why are these people, the troop movement? Yeah. Like, why do we have a bunch of people running around in a country we probably shouldn't be in? So and they roasted it pretty hard.
Hundreds of dollars in security apparatus all gone up in smoke with a smartwatch, because people have to record their workouts.
Yeah.
Well, you had that with Strava, didn't you? So we had equivalent of the NSA, that they could work out where people lived at GCHQ, because they were all doing timed runs from home to the headquarters building and back again, and put it on Strava.
I think the craziest one I saw was I think it was France. Someone in the French military was running with his smartwatch or Strava on an aircraft carrier, and you see this like red dot in the middle of like the Aegean Sea or something. So they're like, okay, well clearly there's an aircraft carrier here where it's not supposed to be. maybe not. But oh man, yeah, just the amount of OSINT you can do with people just publicly sharing their data.
Yeah. But on the ransomware stuff, then, like say for hospitals and stuff, would you pay, or do you think insurance companies need to take a bit more of a robust line, and it's to help you recover, not to pay off?
It's always a challenging decision, because there's the right decision for the business, there's the right decision for the industry, and then there's the right decision for the patient. And like having a hospital down doing things pen and paper, where things can go wrong really, really quickly. Like there's the joke about a doctor's handwriting. Is this 10 milligrams? Is this 1.0 milligrams? Like when you write that down, like I think from a hospital's point of view, patient care always comes first, and you got to do what's right. Now, taking a step back, instead of being reactive to it, being more proactive, that yes, absolutely, that healthcare is a heavily regulated industry, and there should be better security around it. Don't get hit in the first place.
I would say that healthcare is doing a much better job since the hackers said, you know what, gloves are off, we're going after you guys as well. And so I see them being a little bit more proactive, and I barely touch healthcare anymore since we have an entire team dedicated to that. But I do think like what happened, I think it was Change Health, and I forget who the intermediary was, and then also the hacking group, where they got popped for 20 million. They paid the ransom. The middleman took the money, left, and
they
then
absconded with it.
Yeah, and then was it Alf V maybe?
Alf
they're
V.
like,
That was Alf V.
They're like, we still want our 20 million.
Screwed
So
the affiliate.
yeah, so there was like a $40 million thing, right? And then I think if CISO and alike are doing their job correctly, right? You don't want to lose your job, but I think if they highlight exactly up to the board, like this is where we're at. This is our area of coverage. But I know what we're doing right, and this is our gaps. I think they could probably write a really good, robust security policy. And then should you get popped, and it was one of those things that you said, hey, we knew this was a risk. You financially incentivized, or we financially incentivized you to cover us. Then I guess this is it, right? You got to pay that bill.
Closing the gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insurance is a scam. They're here to kill us all.
And I think the cyber insurance industry as a whole, I think the last 6 years has matured quite a bit, because they're adopting the model of like car insurance. Like, I have car insurance. Does my car have airbags? Well, I get a discount for that. Does my car have an anti-theft device? Well, I get a discount for that. Do I live in a safe neighborhood? Well, I get a discount for that. And I think similar to cyber insurance, they said, do you have MFA on everything? Do you have privileged access management? Do you have zero trust deployed? And all those checkboxes like reduce your premium, because it reduces their risk and it reduces the premium, and then they come to like an agreement on the price for that last risk acceptance on the insurance company's part.
When much they check though? Do they go and do I mean, I've done insurance, but I've never seen them come back and check it. But then I suppose perhaps if you get popped, they then do check it and use it as a way to cut down your payments.
Exactly. I think that's it, because like if I say I mainly park my car in a safe neighborhood and it gets boosted from a bad neighborhood, and they can prove that I park it there every night, not where I said it was, then they could deny coverage, because that's basically insurance fraud. Like you misrepresented yourself for that.
I just feel like, again, I'm going back to insurance is a scam. Like if I have like a roof leak and you call the insurance, they're like, oh, did it rain in the last 15 years? That's not covered. Was the sun out? Nope. We don't do that. Like what do you cover? Well, imagine a giant ninja popped out of nowhere and just started slashing roof tiles. Then we would cover that one. I'm like, what the hell? You guys suck.
Yeah. It's the act of war thing, isn't it? It's like, it's nation state linked because it's this, or we saw a flag that was linked to China or any other country, so therefore we're not covered.
That was the whole not petty argument. I think it was Mondelez that filed the claim, and insurance like, no, this is an act of war. It was an act of aggression from Russia to Ukraine. Like, you're not covered. And then they settled out of court, but that was some unnecessary drama.
Wait, let me backpedal real quick. If you're a ZCR customer and you do insurance, you're amazing. You guys are on the up and up. I appreciate you guys. I say nothing disparaging about you whatsoever.
Gotta throw in that disclaimer there.
Yeah. Oops, I'm going to have to erase this whole episode. So.
For our third topic, the popular racing game Forza Horizon 6 leaked 155 gigabytes of content on Steam. That's not just a DLC pack. That's the entire full game leaking 10 days early. Forza Horizon series has always been that perfect mix of open world fun, ridiculous cars, and also why am I doing donuts in a Lamborghini on a mountain at 3 a.m.? Buck, are you a gamer? Play games?
No, I think the last game I finished to the end was Duke Nukem on a Windows PC.
Oh,
remember that? Yeah.
I remember.
You're dating yourself, buddy.
I'm here to chew bubble gum.
That's it. Yeah. You used to be able to pay the hookers, but that's a different story.
Well, the leak appears authentic, and the reason gamers are able to play the game early is because Forza's publisher forgot to check the box to encrypt the game files before uploading it to Steam. And it's not that unusual, so I guess I could, of the three of us, I guess I consider myself the gamer. I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I guess I'm the gamer of the group. But it's not unusual for publishers to preload their content on Steam and other gaming platforms, because that allows those players to download the 155 gigabytes of data in advance of the release date, so you're not spending 20 hours after launch day to play the game. And once midnight hits, the developer switches the game to release mode, and the game is now instantly playable. Forza's publisher did not encrypt the game, and clever hackers are able to use the unencrypted files to play the entire game. There's screenshots and there's video of this game already up online. Now, this is another stark reminder that humans still are the weakest link, and it did not even require AI to screw this one up.
155 gigs is telling me that these developers are just defecating code left, right, and center.
No code optimization whatsoever.
No, and if it's actually unencrypted, I wonder if you could it won't be Mythos because they do a great job of gating it as proven historically. Just kidding. But there will be other type of adversarial AI. I wonder if you could run that against there and just find all the black holes in there and exploit it and do cool things. I have no idea what
cheats.
Cheats.
RCEs. Yeah.
But I mean, I think of all the questions, I love this one because it just sums up cybersecurity, doesn't it? Somebody forgot to tick a box. We talk about AI threats and nation state and quantum compute and blah, 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 and Dave from wherever forgot the encryption setting. Brilliant.
Yeah, you would think that there might be some setting. I don't know. I've never published games on Steam, but you would think it says is there an encrypt by default, and you have to turn it off manually? I think that would be safer.
I want to say, close your eyes a second and just imagine the dumbest person you've ever met, right? Just that idiot. Yeah, and then imagine that you're the Forza publisher that forgot to click the encrypt box. That's you. You're the dumbest person. Just kidding.
Be interesting. I want to know how complex their delivery pipeline is. Is it so complex that's why it got forgotten?
I don't know. Like I said, I've never published on Steam. I wouldn't think it's that difficult. I'm guessing there's probably a wizard. You just click it, here are my files, and they say just like YouTube. When I upload on YouTube, I can schedule the publication date, so I publish it exactly 10:30 Pacific on Sunday night, and then just do that. So you would think that there'd be something similar where it says, I'm going to publish this game, don't make it public until this X embargo date ends, and that's that. And someone just went click, 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 public, boom. Now I'm good.
Right now, Steam people are like, "Oh, that sounds like a great idea." Here's a RFE coming right away.
Patent pending.
Patent pending.
I suppose that at least the internet got virtual Lamborghinis instead of some crypto scam. That's not a bad thing, is it?
Yeah.
And then the other thing, really, on a more serious note, if your whole security model collapses because you forgot one checkbox, you've most probably got some bigger problems somewhere else, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, Forza Horizon, their publisher, I can't remember who publishes nowadays. I think it used to be Microsoft, but I mean, they're not a small shop. This is not an indie game. It's probably a multi-hundreds of millions of dollars of game development went into this, and again, it's just screwed up because somebody forgot to check a box. That's, like you said, classic cybersecurity.
Yeah.
By the way,
all these controls.
As I am casting aspersions left, right, and center right here about this guy being dumb, just know I spoke to a guy, I think in Wisconsin this week. He's like, yeah, my brother, he's like a multi-millionaire, brings in millions of dollars a year. I'm like, what does he do? He's like, he has a bunch of goats. They just put on people's farms. They just eat stuff. I'm like, God, why are they smarter than me? That's...
It's true. That's a big industry, at least even here in California.
Yeah,
then
you eat them it's goats.
Goats, yeah. So I guess side story here. I lived in an HOA, and part of the responsibility of the HOA is there's this hillside that grows grass, and due to the fire codes, because of the fires here in California, we have to cut the grass every year, and the fire inspector will come out here and make sure it's cut. And we got quotes from our landscaping company because it's on a hillside. And if you put humans up there, they have to have fall protection equipment. They have to have these special fences so they don't fall off the hill. And it would cost $90,000 to do it by humans. And then someone suggested, why don't you get goats to do it? And then for $15,000, so 1/6 of the cost, they just let goats roam there for a week. And they just eat all the grass and take care of that problem for us.
That's a good
No
job,
fall protection equipment, by the way. I saw a goat fall off the mountain. I thought it was quite hilarious. He was okay, because goats are used to falling down. But
did you just assume the goat's gender? This guy, I swear. Did you even ask?
It had horns. So
okay.
It was a
he could have been transitioned.
I guess.
Yeah, it could have been a cross goat. You're going to get cancelled now. That was a cross goat.
I'm not going to dead name this goat, all right.
There we go. That does it. Our goat listeners are pissed.
Yeah. Just go back to basics. I think that's Glenn's plan. Once he retires, no more tech. He's just going to do the most low-tech job ever.
Yeah.
Or just probably not even a job. It's the most low-tech stuff you can have in your house. Like, TV with bunny ears and a flip phone with no internet.
Yeah.
Restore an old Nokia 3310 or whatever it was.
A fishing rod and your dog.
Yeah, play Snake. Game of Snake.
Play
Job
Snake.
done.
Yeah. 155
And I suppose
gigs.
goats are AI resistant, aren't they? So if you're a goat herder, that's got to be the future. Forget going to uni now. Become a goat herder. Or you could branch out and do sheep, alpacas. There's a whole range.
What's so funny about that is I think there's a show on Apple TV called Arrival. It's about aliens coming to Earth, right? And like everything just stops working. I think that's what it's called. But I'm watching, and like in the Middle East somewhere, like this dude like gets blown to smithereens. He's trying to find his people, so he's like hiking through the desert. And like he just like randomly intercepts this dude, like a goat farmer, just walking across. I'm like, who doesn't have to worry about mythos and cybersecurity? Is that goat? I'm that goat guy. I'm like, maybe I should just be out in the middle of nowhere, just herding goats, right? Just not worrying about this stuff, because that's not even gonna be on his radar ever.
Yeah, see, you guys say that now, but I'm putting on my Elon Musk hat. And I'm like, that goat herder is going to be replaced by an Optimus robot someday.
You know what? Maybe the goats were his friends, right? Maybe they lead him to water, and then eventually breeds them and eats them, right? Like maybe that's
true.
He doesn't need AI to do that. Let's see AI for your wife's birthday make her cry. I don't think it's going to do that. That's the real superpower that I got.
Become aware.
Yeah, and just like the sheepdog, that's supposed to herd all the goats, because the shepherd does have a dog, and the dog pushes the goats in the right direction. That's got to be a General Dynamics robot one day too. Their little robot dog. That's the pessimist in me. The goats are safe. The shepherd and the dog, maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. All right, I had to ruin it for everybody.
Good job, buddy.
All right, for our last topic, and it'll be a rotating topic every week. This week, we're going to talk about World Cup fever. The North America hosted tournament kicks off in less than a month on June 11th with a record 48 teams. I think Glenn has tickets for games in LA. The city will definitely be in gridlock. So what are you guys looking forward to, or what's your favorite World Cup memory?
Well, see, being from the country that invented football, let's not call it soccer, it's football.
I did it on purpose. I didn't call it soccer.
I know.
Ever since
I know. See, I'm
rage
a
baiter,
friend,
buddy. He's a master rage baiter. Yeah.
And being a passionate Scotland fan, I'm looking forward to seeing Scotland for the first time in a long, long time, at least try to make it out of the qualifying group. And the time zone's a bit of a bummer, but we'll make that work.
Yeah, that's only 8-hour difference. But yeah, I can see if it's.
I think some of the kickoffs. Yeah, it's like some of the kickoffs are going to be in the early hours UK time, so it just means you got to start drink. You either start drinking earlier or you don't stop.
Yeah. That's sort of payback for, I guess, when Team USA was in the Olympics. It started at 4 a.m. our time for the hockey teams.
I can effectively tell you guys, I have never watched a soccer football game in my entire life. I pride myself on that. Look at Bob. He's like,
he looks visibly disgusted.
No, but I like baseball. I like baseball. I got some American sports.
Baseball's for dicks. Yeah, I'm not. I'm more of a football, basketball, like U.S. football, American football.
American football's not a sport. It's people running around. If they were tough, they'd play rugby, wouldn't they? No pads. Man, oh man, none of this helmets. Oh, look, it's an advert break.
You're not wrong, right? Rugby's pretty wild. There's I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's amazing. And I was suggesting doing this for our fantasy football league draft, which is they line up. I forget the name of the YouTube channel, but they get these basically the biggest human beings you've ever seen in your entire life. They line up like 40 yards away from each other, and they have no football. No, why would you want a football, right? And they run at each other full clip and just hit each other. No helmet, no pads, and it's like whoever falls down and gets CTE the first loses, right? It's
like bringing back jousting without the jousting sticks.
And I was like, "Oh, this is what we should do for our draft order." I was like, and like everyone's like, "Brian's trying to kill us." I'm like, "No, I wasn't actually serious." But yeah.
Yeah, some of us might not come out alive out of this if we do that.
So, Chris, you're going to follow the football?
Oh, it's got to be Team USA, like the home team. USA 250, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite memory though, I will say, the year I think it was in South Africa when they had the vuvuzelas, and that became a thing. You know, the giant horns. I don't know if Brian remembers those. Then, like, people are saying like this is literally the most annoying sound in the world. It sounds like a swarm of bees is attacking you, and that was one of the most memorable things I remember from the World Cup.
I just love all the. I just love all the excitement. It ends up being like a really bad one-night stand. So you go in it with the excitement, trepidation, then you wake up the following morning full of remorse, regret, and itching. And that's the UK for the World Cup. It's all excitement. You know, we're going to bring it home, lads. And it crashes around the ears, normally at the quarter-final stage.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with someone this week, and the rep was telling me that she has like there's a CISO or CIO, I can't remember. And he's like, "Hey, I have my own private jet." And I was thinking, how about we round up all the other CXO people, in our town, right? City, hut. I have no idea. And I'll just fly everyone to LA and we'll go watch the World Cup. Because that's where it's at, right? Yeah, LA. And he's like, my ask from you is like, does Jay want to come? And then two, how many tickets do we have? Right? Can you guys, get, and I'm sure the tickets are on the spectrum, right? So some cheap ones and there's some expensive ones. So, the person emailed out to the crawler of Jay. It was like, "Hey, do you think Jay would want to do this?" And Jay's like, or I want to call her the EA. What would you call her? Like administrative assistant? Like I don't want to downplay her role. Executive mentor. Partner in crime, yeah. And she wrote back, she's like, Jay doesn't really like sports. I'm like, I love Jay, right? I would not want to go to this either. But then on the flip side, they're trying to figure out like how many tickets do we have? And for this, like really good tickets, there's not a whole lot, right? And everyone's kind of vibing and trying to fight for them. What do you guys think for like, I don't even know if it's box or if it's on the field. Like what kind of money do you think a ticket would cost?
So I know that, well, to a point. So being a Scotland fan, I remember the supporters club. Scotland are playing in Boston to start off with. So the first gripe was, as an aside, is over $100 to get the bus, which normally costs $5. So there's loads of complaints over that. And then I think the lowest ticket was about $200 to $300 for a qualifying match, and I think it went up to about $4,000.
So that's exactly, I think you're in line with it. It's like it's Super Bowl pricing. Like it's like I think the tickets in which I don't know, don't quote me on this for sure, but I think I heard it's like $8,000 per ticket. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah. I'm like, I better have a chance to kick the ball at least once if I'm spending that kind of money.
Get a jersey or an autograph at least.
Yeah, you come on at half time, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I would say the other World Cup memory I have, it had to have been the 2012, because I was still an Iron Key at the time. So I think it was the 2012 World Cup when Tim Howard was the U.S. goalie at the time, and he was just crazy, like crazy in a good way. Like I remember, I think we had the group of death that year. We had to play like Germany and a whole bunch of really challenging teams. We made it out, and then I think we got knocked down in the semis or something. But this guy's ability, Tim Howard, this goalie's ability to just like stop these crazy goals was just, I still remember it to this day, like 16 years later.
But it's interesting because when you compare US soccer to, say, you watch the Premier League in the UK, the pace and the skill levels are really different. So it'll be interesting to see has the USA team progressed since the last World Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, that I don't know. The last one was in Qatar, right? It was in 2022.
Yeah, it was a winter one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm just checking. Is this true? The U.S. men's team has never won the World Cup?
No, you wouldn't like it, mate, because you can, unlike for an American, you can play a sport where you draw and no one's a winner.
Oh, great. Yes. So early on, like, in my 20s, I remember I was just like, man, country music sucks. And then I was like, soccer, football is even dumber, right? And then somebody's like, nah, man, you got to see the girls that come to these things. And I was like, oh, that's why there's fans in country music and the World
football,
Cup. So
soccer.
I know what you're really about, Buck. I see between the lines here.
Yeah.
Just kidding, guys.
I think if you ever come to the UK, we have to take you to a cricket match. That will be a test of your patience, where they can play for 5 days and still draw.
For 5 days?
Yeah,
Brian looks
5
like he's
days.
jumping at that opportunity.
Think of the drinking you can do though over 5 days.
I'll need a new liver.
You're convincing us. We'll check it out. All right, we continue to get great comments about our dad joke of the week.
Dad joke of the week.
This week, our guest Buck is up.
Okay, so I've ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hey, by the way, Buck, maybe we can throw this in the beginning of the episode. Is there anything that you would like to shamelessly plug, right? Since you're our distinguished guest right here. No? All right. You don't have a podcast or...
No. I mean, you can, if you want to mention, have a look at Cyb3r Operations with a 3 for the E website, because I'm helping them at the moment. That'd be good. But if not, I'm just happy to have a chat, mate.
Right on. We appreciate it, man.
I'll throw a link in the description. Check it out. Check it outers. All right, to wrap things up, BitLocker should be considered compromised until Microsoft patches it. Canvas paid the ransom clearly. Remember to encrypt your Steam games, and go Team USA and Scotland. That's all I have for this week. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Find us on LinkedIn. Links will be in the description. Follow us on Instagram at PEBCAK Podcast. Thank our listeners and subscribers. Rate us 5 stars to iTunes, support on Spotify, and left us a review. We appreciate you all spreading the word to help grow the show. The best way to find us is to search for the PEBCAK Podcast on your favorite podcast listening app. My co-host, Brian Deach, and our guest, Buck Rogers, I'm Chris Lewin. Thanks for listening. We'll see you all next week, and as always, have a nice day.
Bye, Felicia.
Glenn will return eventually.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.